The concluding moments of my Cocaine Bear review revealed that I was super hyped for this movie, and what legit slasher fan wouldn't be after that epic build-up. The trailers aroused curiosity yet remained vague enough to not play spoiler, and I personally found that subway map poster more fascinating than the results of my Dast 10. 4 survivors of the previous Woodsboro massacres have relocated to New York in the name of starting over. However, a new killer donning the Father Death mask wishes to tarnish that dream quicker than I'd like to put an end to the existence of indie rock. 99.9% of people, myself included, who watch Scream 6 do so because they want to see how the antagonist conducts business. The murders themselves were savage, easily the goriest the franchise has produced so far, and what I liked the most about them was that they were inconsistent. For example, one victim would be tormented by Ghostface's trademark phone banter before getting sliced and diced for almost an unpalatable amount of time. The next guy would get a knock on the door before being stabbed in the face without any interaction in between, and the variations of style don't end there. I applaud this contrast because when our baddie adopts a more cerebral approach, it builds up suspense before the climax, not to mention provides nostalgia, as this is the modus operandi we are accustomed to, and the more juggernaut in and out one and done technique serves as a platform for jump scares as well as other aspects of horror. The death toll is satisfactory but should have been way higher, as some characters defy biological sense. For instance, there were a few occasions where our protagonists received stabby rip stab stab so severe that it could be justifiably described as fatality fuel, but in spite of that they just keep going about their evening whilst maintaining consciousness and coordination, but in reality they should be on a necrophiliac's radar within moments after the fact. I found this irritating as fuck because not only did this blemish immersion, it also went against the bollocks spewed out during its compulsory meta-themed rant, making the movie more hypocritical than me if I were to host an anti-pull-out method seminar. The acting as far as the slasher genre is concerned is on point. All cast members contributed their best efforts, especially Melissa Barrera and Jenna Ortega. I'd be remiss if I didn't acknowledge Neve Campbell's absence. Yes, it was a shame that financial negotiations between Campbell and Paramount Pictures failed to materialise, hence no Sydney, but in truth I didn't miss her all that much. Of course, I'd like to see her return to the franchise, but in Scream 6's case, her inclusion wouldn't have made much sense narratively speaking. Fuck, even Courtney Cox's presence felt forced as fuck. However, that can be forgiven, as the long overdue phone call between Gale Weathers and Ghostface was awesome, and shout out to Roger L. Jackson for another excellent performance as the voice behind Father Death. The voice that was in charge of the film's structure isn't going to receive such praise. Epic segue there. It's not good. 123 minutes is simply too long for a movie of this nature. The runtime wasn't due to Scream 6 being an over-the-top gore fest, no sir. There were so many unnecessary scenes that placed way too many minutes in between demise sequences. This was particularly noticeable during the first act, as after the albeit intriguing opening kill, an undesirable amount of time had to pass before we got to see the buck knife do its thing again. Yes, the pacing did indeed become more tasteful from Act 2 onwards, but overall tested my patience in the same way that my cock puts the sturdiness of your mom's rectum on trial. Scream 6 injects some reinvigoration into the film series whilst still maintaining familiarity. The new setting doesn't alienate those unaccustomed. In fact, it acts as a fresh canvas for creativity, whilst nostalgia and a plethora of scrumptiously unsubtle Easter eggs serves as the easel. Could the artist have painted something better? Of course, but fuck it, I enjoyed most of the brush strokes, which is more than I can say about the time I wanked myself off with a couple of handheld sonic scrubbers.